Now let us discuss about series circuits. So electrical circuits are mainly classified into two types, series and parallel circuits. First one we will discuss about series. So a series circuit has only one current path. So what is a series circuit? A series circuit contains only one current path. So this is one example of a series circuit here. Next, how the components are connected. All the components are going to be connected end to end. So this is one end of the terminal and this is the second end. And for R2, the starting point is going to be connected to the ending point of the R1. Similarly for R3, the starting point is going to be connected to the ending point of R2. That means that our components are going to be connected end to end. Starting terminal of the R1 is connected to the positive terminal of source. And the ending terminal or second terminal of R3 is connected to negative terminal of source. So all the components are connected end to end. Here observe more than two nodes are going to be involved. Okay. Next, current through each component is same. Since there is only one path, if you observe here, there is only one current path. Since there is only one current path involved, the current flowing through all the terminals must be same, like this. The current will come from the source and the same current I will flow through all the elements R1, R2, R3 and the same current will come back to the source. That means the current through all the elements is same. What about the voltage across elements? The source or applied voltage will divide across all the remaining elements. So this is the voltage V, source voltage. This voltage will produce a current I and the current is flowing through R1. What is the voltage across R1? I am going to assume that one as V1. From Ohm's law it is I into R1. So V1 is equals to I into R1. Now what is voltage across R2? Let us assume that the voltage across R2 is V2, we don't know. Since the current flowing through R2 is same, the voltage across V2 is I into R2. Now let us assume the voltage across R3 as V3 and it is also equal to, from Ohm's law, I into R3. Okay. So if we observe the voltages, here IR1, IR2, IR3. The total voltage is going to be divided across each element. The applied voltage or source voltage is going to be divided across each element. The main important points you have to remember is the current remains same in a series circuit, voltage will divide. So current same or constant. What about voltage? Voltage will always divide. It is not same. So current is same, voltage divides. That is the thing you have to remember in a series circuit. Now let us discuss this further. If the path is open anywhere, suppose in a series circuit, if the path is open in anywhere in the circuit, what happens? Current will stop flowing. The path means this is the path responsible for current to flow in a circuit. It is a wire. If it is open in the circuit, what happens? Current will not flow to the remaining components or all the components. Consider a circuit here. So this is a battery or source. So this source is connected to two bulbs, bulb 1 and bulb 2 here. These two bulbs are connected, all this source, bulb 1 and bulb 2 are all connected in series. Now the current is flowing here, that's why the bulbs are glowing. Suppose if I remove the bulb, what happens? The current stops flowing. The bulb will not glow, both bulbs will not glow. Because here there is a open path. So current will come from the source and at this point where it will go? It is open circuit. In case of open circuit, the current never flows. So the circuit is open here. In case of open circuit, current is always 0. Current 0 means from Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? V is equal to I into R. So that means what is R value? R is nothing but V by I. If current is 0, resistance it is infinity. So we are going to have an infinite resistance present across the open circuit. which doesn't allow any current to flow through it. That's why the bulbs will not. This is going to be happen in case of a series circuit. If one component is removed from the circuit, the other components also doesn't work because the current will not flow through the other components also. Next one. Now let us find out the equivalent resistance of a series resistive circuit. Now consider a circuit like this. Here there are 3 resistors are connected, and these 3 resistors are connected end to end, and this total resistance have connected to a voltage V. That means the energy is going to be supplied to these 3 resistors by means of source V. Let us assume that the current I is flowing in clockwise direction, because source will always give current from positive terminal only. So current will come out of the positive terminal and it will go like this. Now how we are going to assign the polarities? Entering terminal is plus, leaving terminal is minus. So assume that the voltage across R1 is V1, it is V2, it is V3. Okay. So the voltage across each resistor can be determined from Ohm's law. First, what is the voltage V1? From Ohm's law, current through R1 is I. So obviously what is V1? I into R1. Similarly, what is V2? I into R2. V3 is I into R3. Here keep in mind that in case of series circuit, the current is same, but voltage will divide. Okay. Now let us apply KVL, because here we are having a closed path. We can apply KVL because the voltage is going to divide here. Unknown quantities are voltages. To deal with voltages, we are going to use Kirchhoff's voltage law. So now by applying KVL in that single loop of the given circuit, there is only one loop here. How will you apply KVL? See, from the source, how the current is flowing. Current will always come out of the positive terminal and it will enter into the negative terminal. So the current is flowing from minus to plus. Minus to plus means increasing. So that's why we are going to consider that source voltage as rise. Now in case of resistance R1, how the current is flowing? Plus to minus. Plus to minus means decreasing. Obviously V1 is a drop. Similarly, you can identify that V2 is, what is V2? It is also drop because current is flowing from plus to minus, and V3 is also a drop. So it is because the current in the resistor R3 is flowing from positive to negative. Now if you apply KVL, sum of the voltage rises is equal to sum of the voltage drops. That means V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Here the known quantity is V only. This V1, V2, V3 are the assumed quantities. And what are the formulas for V1, V2, V3? IR1, IR2, IR3 that we have derived from Ohm's law. So now what are the available equations? We are having 4 available equations. First 3 are the set of voltage equations that we have derived from Ohm's law. So V1 is equal to IR1, V2 is equal to IR2, V3 is equal to IR3. The individual voltages across each resistor that we have derived from Ohm's law. Next one, by applying KVL in the single loop, we got one equation which is nothing but V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now substitute this IR1, IR2, IR3 in place of V1, V2, V3. So in place of V1, I substituted IR1. In place of V2, I substituted IR2 value. And in place of V3, I substituted I into R3. Now if you observe this equation, what is the common term here? The 3 terms, there are 3 terms on the RHS side. What are the common term in that? I is the common. So take the common term out. So if you take the common term out, I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. So next, since we are going to calculate the equivalent resistance, that means what we are going to do? We are going to replace. So that is the given circuit. There are 3 resistors here, R1 and R2, R3. Now we have to replace these 3 resistors with a single resistor such that the voltage and current should not change. So when you apply the same voltage, the same current will flow through the resistor. So I am going to replace the same circuit with a single resistor. So while replacing that, you have to make sure that the same current will flow when you apply the same voltage V. That means the circuit condition should not be altered. such that you have to replace the 3 resistors with RT. Why I am doing this? Here there are only 3 resistors, that means it is very simple to solve. When there are thousands of resistors involved, then how can you solve? That's why for complex circuits this technique will be very useful for replacing all the resistors with a single resistor. Now apply Ohm's law in the equivalent circuit. So when you apply Ohm's law in the equivalent circuit, the expression we are going to get is V is equal to I into RT. But in the actual circuit, we know that this is the equation we got in actual circuit. What is that equation? V is equal to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. If you compare these two equations, so the common terms are V and I. So in place of RT, we are having R1 plus R2 plus R3. So that means the total resistance RT is always equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 in the equivalent circuit. So this RT is the total resistance of the series connected resistors, also called as equivalent or effective resistance. So we are going to represent RT as R equivalent in sometimes, because it is also called as the total resistance is also called as equivalent resistance or effective resistance. In some textbooks they may denote REQ. This indicates that it is the equivalent resistance. So hence in a series circuit, the equivalent or effective resistance is equal to the sum of the individual resistances. Okay. In general, if there are n resistors involved, here I have considered only 3 resistors. If there are n resistors involved, the equivalent resistance is R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus and so on Rn. So you have to, this is the generated formula. When there are 2 resistors, RT is R1 plus R2. When there are 3 resistors, RT is R1 plus R2 plus R3, like that. There are n resistors, RT is R1 plus R2 plus R3 and so on Rn. This is how you are going to derive the equivalent resistance of a series connected resistors. Okay. Now I will concept once again. So I am going to consider a series resistor circuit. So there are 3 resistors here, R1, R2 and R3. And how these 3 resistors are connected end to end? So each element will have 2 terminals. So R2 is also having 2 terminals. So R2 is also having 2 terminals. Similarly, R3 is having 2 terminals, and this voltage source that we have connected is also having 2 terminals. Now here the terminals are connected end to end. So when the terminals are connected end to end, we are going to say that the elements are connected in series. Or how the current will flow here? The current will always flow in this single loop only. There is only one path here. Since there is only one path for the current to flow, we can say that it is a series circuit. Okay. Now, what are the known values here? We know that a voltage of value V is applied to the resistance connected in series R1, R2, R3. That means R1, R2, R3 and V are known values. I am going to assume that a current I is going to be supplied by the source V, and this current will always come out of the positive terminal because the source will supply power. So this current will flow like this and it will enter into R1 from this terminal. That's why we are going to assume this terminal as plus, and the current will leave from this terminal. So that's why we are going to assume it as minus. And let us say the voltage across R1 is V1. Similarly, here this is plus and minus V2. And here the terminals are plus and minus like this, because we know that current is going like this in the 3 resistors. From positive to current is entering like this into the terminal, that's why plus and minus here, similarly plus and minus here. I have assumed that the voltage across each resistance as V1, V2, V3. And what is the current through each resistance? I. Because I is common, it is a series circuit. First point, we don't know this V1, V2, V3, we have assumed. Since we have to apply KVL, because it is a single loop. To calculate the equivalent resistance, we need to apply Ohm's law and KVL. We have to use both laws. First, apply Ohm's law to calculate individual voltages. Okay, so from Ohm's law, so we know only Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's law still now. That's why we are going to use those two laws to simplify or to get equivalent resistance. So from Ohm's law, what is V1? V1 is equals to I into R1. Similarly, what is V2? V2 is equals to I into R2. And what is V3? V3 is equals to I into R3. So here in case of series circuit, we know that the current is same. The voltage will divide. Now, what about the voltages here? The source voltages and all the individual voltages, whether they are rising or dropping. That we can derive from the direction of the current. Since the current is coming from positive terminal here and entering into negative terminal, that means the current is flowing from negative to positive in the source. So that's why the source voltage we always consider it as a rising voltage. Now coming to the V1. In case of V1, it means the voltage across R1. The current through R1 is flowing from plus to minus. Plus to minus means positive to negative means it is dropping, value is reducing. That's why we are going to consider V1 as drop. Similarly, you know that V2 is also drop and V3 is also drop. Okay, and V is rise. Since there are 4 elements involved here and there are 4 voltages, and we know the which voltage is rising and which voltage is dropping. Now apply KVL. Apply KVL in the loop. Now, what is KVL? Sigma of V rise is equal to sigma of V drop. So, what are the rising voltages here? Only the source voltage, V. And what are the voltages that are dropping? V1, V2, V3. So, V1, V2, V3. So, we have to do the summation. So, V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now, these are the set of equations. Here the V1, V2, V3 are the assumed values and we have derived the expressions for V1, V2, V3 from Ohm's law. So, substitute those values here. Then you are going to get V is equals to, so V1 in place of V1 we know it is I into R1. Next, what is V2? I into R2. And what is V3? I into R3. In this, I is common. Take I common. So I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. So V is equals to I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. This is the final expression we got. Okay. Now here also we don't know the value of I, that we can determine later. But here our objective is to calculate the equivalent resistance. Now I am going to replace this circuit with a single resistor. I am going to remove these 3 resistors and I am going to place a single resistor, such that when you apply the same voltage V, the same current I should flow. You have to choose the value of resistance, this single resistance value, such that when you apply a voltage of V, the same voltage when you applied, and whatever the current flowing in the first actual circuit, the same current has to flow. For that purpose, you have to choose the value of resistance RT. So what is that value of the resistance RT? So you have to replace the 3 resistors with a single resistor, such that other circuit parameters doesn't change. So what is that value of resistance which doesn't change the circuit parameters? Now we will calculate that resistance. If you apply KVL, what are the elements involved here? What are the parameters in this circuit? One is V, I and RT. We know that these 3 will relate with from Ohm's law as V is equals to I into RT. Now, Since both circuits are going to be considered as equivalent because the same voltage is considered, it is going to flow, then you can compare these two equations. When you compare these two equations, here in place of V we are having V, in place of I we are having I. Next, in place of R1 plus R2 plus R3 we are having RT. So obviously we know that this total resistance RT is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, that means the equivalent resistance. You can also represent RT as R equivalent. So the equivalent resistance when the resistors connected in series is summation. Just simply add R1 plus R2 plus R3. So if you want to calculate equivalent resistance in a series connected resistors, what you have to do? You have to simply add all the resistance values. That is how you are going to calculate equivalent resistance in a series circuit. Okay. So what is the law that we have used in series circuit? KVL. So in case of series circuit, we have used KVL to calculate the equivalent resistance in addition to Ohm's law. Please keep that in mind. Next, parallel circuits. So next type of circuits that we are going to encounter in this basic electrical and electronics engineering course is parallel circuits. So what is a parallel circuit first of all? As you know that in case of series circuit there is only one current path to flow. But in case of parallel circuit, the circuit contains more than one current path. Okay. So the circuit contains more than one current path. And these current paths are always branching from the source. So a circuit that contains more than one current path and branching from the source is called a parallel circuit. Next, how the components are connected? All the components are connected between two nodes. In case of series circuits, there are more than two nodes involved. Unlike series circuits, in parallel circuits, all the components are connected between only two nodes. So how many nodes are there involved in parallel circuits? Only two nodes will be there. All the elements or all the components are going to be connected between those two nodes only. Then only we can say that it is a parallel circuit. And finally, what is the third important point? Voltage across each component is same. In series circuit, the current remains same, voltage divides. But in case of parallel circuit, the voltage remains same. Since there are more than one path for current to flow, current divides. This is the circuit diagrams. A circuit that contains more than one current path. Here I am having one voltage here, voltage source. And how the current is flowing here? The source will always deliver current. Assume that current is I and it will always enter from the positive terminal and it will come like this. And what happens at this node? At this node obviously it is a junction point. There are two elements connected, there are two branches involved here, R1 and R2. That means the total current I coming out of the source will divide at this node. And a current of I1 will flow through R1 and a current of I2 will flow through R2. Because there are more number of paths involved here. So a circuit that contains more than one current path branching from the source. Keep that in mind. The current coming from the source is dividing here. That means the two branches are formed from the source only. Then only we are going to call it as a parallel circuit. So whatever the current is dividing, that current divides from the source only. Next, what is the second point? All components are connected between two nodes. So here there are two nodes. So there are two nodes here. If you see the voltage V is connected between 1 and 2. The source V is connected between 1 and 2 because here there is no element. Here also there is no element. That means this node and this node are same. So all these nodes are same. And this node and this node, all these three are same because no elements are there in between there. Next, R1 is connected between 1 and 2 and R2 is also connected between 1 and 2. All the elements, three elements are connected between two nodes only. Two nodes only. That is the second point. Voltage across each component. See, the source positive terminal is connected to node 1. That means the resistance, what is that? This terminal is always positive because this positive terminal is connected to node 1 and one of the terminal of resistance R1 is connected to node 1. Similarly here R2, the one terminal of R2 is connected to, that means we are going to have a positive terminal here also. And negative terminal is connected to the other terminal, node 2. That means the node 2 is negative polarity. So that means here also the R1 is negative. So R1 this terminal is negative and here this terminal is negative. Because node 1 is positive and node 2 is negative. R1 and R2 are connected to node 1 and node 2. That means this is plus and minus and this is plus and minus. So the voltages across all the components are same. Since the source voltage is V, the voltage across R1 is also V, the voltage across R2 is also V. So these are the three important points regarding parallel circuits. Next, coming to the current. So unlike the series circuits, here in case of parallel circuits the current divides because there are more current paths involved. How the current is going to be divided? We can apply by applying KCL at any node, we can find out the division of current. Current I is coming here, it is dividing I1 and I2. Okay. Now let us see what happens when you remove one of the component in case of parallel circuit. In series circuit, if you remove one bulb, other bulb will turn off. That means one component is removed, other component doesn't function in case of series circuit. In case of parallel circuits, when you remove a component, then it is possible for the other component to blow or to work. Because suppose here I have removed the bulb, that means this bulb is not getting supply, that's why it turned off. But what about this bulb? It is getting supply. So this is the battery and a current I is flowing from this battery, and at this point or junction the current is dividing as I1 and I2. So this is I1 and this is I2. When you remove the bulb, second bulb here, the current I2 becomes 0 because here the circuit is open. There is no current to flow here. I is 0 because it is open circuit. The open circuit offers infinite resistance, so no current will flow through that two terminals. That means I2 is 0. But what about I1? Here path to flow because the bulb is not removed here. That means since there is I1, the bulb will glow. In case of parallel circuit, even one component is removed, the second component will function. Okay. Now let us calculate the equivalent resistance in a parallel resistive circuit. Just like series resistive circuit, we are going to do the equivalent resistance of a parallel resistive circuit also. Let us consider a resistive circuit like this. Here, three resistors R1, R2, R3 are connected in parallel to the voltage source. How can you say that all these are in parallel? Because there are only two nodes involved. All the terminals, this is one terminal, this is the second terminal. For R1, this is the first terminal and this is the second terminal. For R2, this is the first terminal and this is the second. And R3, this is the first terminal and second terminal. If you see the diagram, there are 8 nodes involved, but actually there are only 2 nodes. All these 4 nodes are nothing but a single node. You know that. It is a single node because there is no element in between these nodes. Similarly, there is no element in between these nodes and there is no element in between these nodes. That means this is a big node which is going to be equivalent to a single node. Similarly, all these 4 nodes are going to be considered as a single node and this is the second node. Since in between these 2 nodes there is no element involved, we are going to consider those nodes as a single node. So finally, we can say that there are only 2 nodes involved and all the elements are connected in between these 2 nodes. That's why it is a parallel circuit. So those are the 2 nodes involved here. Now what is the voltage across each element? What is the voltage we know actually? The source voltage. What is its value? V. The same voltage will appear across all the elements because they are all connected in parallel. In case of parallel circuits, the voltage remains same. So the voltage across R1 is V, voltage across R2 is V, voltage across R3 is also V. So the voltage across each resistor can be determined. How will you calculate the voltage across each resistor? Obviously from Ohm's law. So I am going to assume that the current coming from the source as I. This current at this node 1, it will divide, and I1 current will flow through. Assume that I1 is the current flowing through R1, I2 is the current flowing through R2, and I3 is the current flowing through R3. So from Ohm's law you can say that V is, the voltage across R1 is V, which is equal to I1 into R1, because the current through R1 is I1, resistance is R1. Similarly, what is the voltage across R2? The current through R2 is I2, so the voltage across R2 is V is equal to I2 into R2. Now what is the voltage across R3? The voltage across R3 is V, that will be determined as I3 into R3. If you observe these three equations, the voltage is common here. And what about the current? Divides. Just opposite in series circuit. In case of series circuit, current remains constant, voltage divides. But in case of parallel circuits, voltage remains constant, current divides. Okay. Now, so when you apply KCL at node 1, so what are the currents entering here at node 1? Current entering are only I is entering. What are the currents leaving? I1 is leaving, I2 is leaving, and I3 is also leaving. So sum of entering currents is equal to sum of leaving currents. So I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. If you apply KCL, you are going to get I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. In case of series circuit, what is the law? What is the Kirchhoff's law? We applied KVL. But in case of parallel circuit, you have to use Kirchhoff's current law. Okay. So KVL is going to be used in series circuits, and KCL is going to be used in parallel circuits. That you have to keep in mind. Now what are the available equations? The available equations are V is equal to I1 R1, V is equal to I2 R2, V is equal to I3 R3. But here we want current values. That's why the same equations we can write as I1 is equal to V by R1, I2 is equal to V by R2, I3 is equal to V by R3. These equations are derived from Ohm's law. Already we derived these equations. And what is the other equation you have derived by applying KCL? I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. This is the equation we have derived from KCL. Now if you replace these values I1, I2, I3 with the known values, because I1, I2, I3 are the currents we have assumed, and we know the values of V, R1, R2, R3. That's why in place of I1, I2, I3, substitute those values, known values. If you substitute, you are going to get I is equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. Now what is the common term here? The voltage is the common term in all the three equations. So take out the common term, then you are going to get I is equal to V into 1 by 1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This is the equation we got. Now what is our requirement? We have to calculate the equivalent resistance. So how we are going to calculate equivalent resistance? By replacing this parallel circuit which we have considered with an equivalent circuit like this, which is having a single resistance of value RT, such that the voltage and current will remain same. The circuit parameters always has to remain same, and you have to replace a resistance RT. So how the circuit parameters will remain constant? By choosing an appropriate value of RT. So now we will calculate that value of RT. So apply Ohm's law in that equivalent circuit. Then we are going to get V is equals to I into RT. Only three variables involved, V, I, RT. Those three are related by Ohm's law. V is equal to I into RT. Now from this equation, I, what is the value of I? I is equal to V into 1 by RT. Now compare this equation. If you compare this equation with already derived equation, this is already derived. If we compare this, in place of I, we are having I. In place of V, we are having V. But what is there in place of 1 by RT? We are having 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So the equivalent resistance here is, or the total resistance here is 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So in case of parallel circuit, the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance is equal to sum of individual reciprocal resistances. So when you want to calculate equivalent resistance in a parallel circuit, you have to take the reciprocal of each resistance first and then you have to add. Okay. So similarly we can call this RT as R equivalent, just like in series circuits we can also call the equivalent total resistance as R equivalent here. Okay. So when there are resistors involved, the equivalent resistance is 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus and so on 1 by Rn for n parallel resistors. Okay. So this is how you are going to calculate the equivalent resistance for n parallel resistors. Now let us compare the series and parallel circuits. With this we will finish about this series and parallel circuits. So what is the first thing you have to note here? In case of series circuits, it contains only one current path. In parallel circuits, they contain more than one current path. Next, what is the second important point? All components are connected end to end. And in case of parallel circuits, all components are connected between two nodes. And what is the third important difference between those two? Current through each component is same. But in case of parallel circuit, voltage remains same across each component. And the fourth difference is the voltage divides in case of series circuits. And what about in parallel circuit? Current divides. And finally, the fifth difference is we are going to use KVL. KVL is going to be applied in series circuit. In case of parallel circuits, KCL is going to be applied. So these are the differences between series and parallel circuits. By comparing, you can easily understand the concepts of series and parallel circuits. So already we have discussed about the equivalent resistance calculation of a series circuit and parallel circuit. Now let us take a combinational circuit. So here if you see in this circuit there are several combinations of resistors. The resistors are either connected in series or they are connected in parallel. So the first step to solve such type of problems is you have to identify the total nodes in the circuit. So here in this problem they ask you to calculate the equivalent resistance in between the terminals A and B. Okay, you have to calculate the equivalent resistance in between the terminals A and B. First of all, identify the remaining nodes in the circuit. So here we are having first, this is one node, next, second, third, 4, 5, 6. So apart from A and B, we are having 6 other nodes in the circuit. Since we are going to calculate the equivalent resistance between A and B terminals, that means we are going to replace all these resistors with a single resistor. We are going to replace all these resistors with a single resistor of resistance R equivalent. Then if you want to calculate R equivalent at A and B terminals, you have to start solving the problem from opposite end, from this end. Okay, so starting from this end, so let us see here the resistor. What are the resistors that are in series or what are the resistors that are in parallel? In case of series connection, the R equivalent is nothing but R1 plus R2. And in case of parallel, the R equivalent can be calculated by using 1 by R equivalent is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So these are the two formulas that we already derived. Now these two formulas are going to be used to solve this problem. Okay, let us start from this side. So here if you observe the resistor R8, this resistor R8 is connected between node 2 and node 3. Next, the resistor R10 is connected between 3 and 6. So if you start from 2 to 3, R8 is there, and from 3 to 6, R10 is there. That means if you allow some current through R10, that means 10 ohm resistor, the same current will flow through the 2 ohm resistor also, because the starting node of this R10 resistor, is same as the ending node of the R8 resistor, and there is no other branch or element connected to node 3. That means the same current will flow through these two resistors. Then we are going to say in series. That's how you are going to identify. Or if there are 3 nodes involved, when two resistors are connected in between 3 nodes, then we are going to say those two are connected in series. So the resistors R8 and R10 are connected in series. So when they are in series, what is the equivalent resistance? Addition of the two resistors, R8 plus R10, so 12 ohm resistor. Now we can remove these two resistors, R8 and R10. We can place this equivalent resistance RT. Okay, because these two are in series, we know that their equivalent resistance is 12 ohms. How we are going to replace like this? So in place of R8 and R10, we have placed RT, 12 ohm resistor. Now in this circuit, if you see from this side, it can be clearly observed that this RT and 6 ohms both are connected in parallel. Why? See here, RT is connected between which nodes? 2 and 6. This RT is connected between 2 and 6. Similarly, the R9 is also connected between node 2 and node 6. When two elements are connected between same nodes, we know that those two are in parallel. So if any number of elements are connected in between two nodes, we are going to say those elements are in parallel. So in case of this parallel, the equivalent resistance can be calculated as 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. That means 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12. Therefore, the equivalent resistance is going to be 4 ohms. Now, we can remove these two resistors, R9 and RT, and we can place R equivalent. So, we can remove 6 ohms and 12 ohms, and instead of these two resistors, we can place a single resistor of value 4 ohms, like this. So, instead of those 2 ohms, you have placed a single resistance of value 4 ohms. In this circuit, now if you observe here this R equivalent is connected between 2 and 6. And what about R7? R7 is connected between 6 and 5. So here the ending node or ending terminal of R equivalent is same as the starting terminal. That means these two are in series. So when two elements are connected in series, you can calculate R equivalent as R1 plus R2. So 4 plus 8, which gives to 12 ohms. Now we can remove these two resistors. When you remove these two resistors, you are going to place a single resistor. And while removing these two resistors, this node 6 is also going to be eliminated. So instead of these two resistors, we are going to connect a single resistance of value 12 ohms. If you observe here, this R6 and RT. R6 and RT are connected in parallel because these two are connected in between 2 and 5. So R6 is connected between 2 and 5. Similarly, RT is also connected between 2 and 5. When two elements are connected between two terminals, we are going to say those two are in parallel. So these two are connected in parallel. In case of parallel, what is the equivalent resistance? 1 by R6 plus 1 by RT. So obviously you are going to get R equivalent as 4 ohms. So this 4 ohms resistance can be placed instead of these two resistors. So let us see how we are going to remove this. So instead of those two resistors, we are going to place the equivalent resistance of 4 ohms. Now in this circuit, this R equivalent is connected in between node 2 and node 5. And R5 is connected between node 4, node 5. If you observe the this node 5 is common. The ending node of R equivalent is equal to the starting node of R5. Then we can say that these two resistors are connected in series. Otherwise, you can say in terms of current also. When you allow a current through R equivalent, the same current will flow through R5 also. Because at node 5 there is no other element or branch connected. So in case of series, we are going to say that the equivalent resistance can be calculated by addition of those two resistance values. 4 ohms plus 4 ohms is 8 ohms. Now replace these two resistors with an equivalent resistance of this 8 ohms. Just we have calculated. So in between, these two resistors are connected in between 2 and 4. See here. In between 2 and 4 we have connected. So the equivalent resistance should also be connected in between 2 and 4. Now in this circuit, this RT is connected between 2 and 4, and one more R4 is also connected between node 2 and node 4. So here these two resistors are connected between the same nodes. Then obviously those two are going to be connected in parallel. In case of parallel resistance, equivalent resistance as usually we can calculate by 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8, which is 1 by 4. This is 1 by R equivalent. Then what is R equivalent? 4 ohms. Don't forget this, because we are always calculating 1 by R equivalent in case of parallel. Now remove these two resistors and place an equivalent resistance of 4 ohms in between 2 and 4. When you are going to remove the combination of resistors that are connected in parallel, the nodes are not going to be eliminated, because in case of parallel, all the elements are connected between two nodes only. But when you are going to remove the series resistors by an equivalent resistance, then the common node is going to be eliminated. From the starting onwards also, if you observe, the common node which is there, that is going to be eliminated when you are going to remove or when you are going to replace the two resistors that are connected in series. Here R3 is connected between 1 and 2, R equivalent is connected between 2 and 4. So this second node is common here. The second node is going to be common for both R3 and R equivalent. Since it is common, we can say that this R3 and R equivalent are connected in series. So from 1 to 2 and 2 to 4, the same current will flow when you allow to pass through these two resistors. So then they are going to be connected in series. When the two resistors are connected in series, the equivalent resistance is 4 plus 4, 8 ohms. So if you observe here, the two resistors are connected in series in between node 1 and node 4. If you remove these two resistors and replace with a single resistance of equivalent resistance value 8 ohms, then this node 2 is also going to be eliminated. Okay, so like this. See here, we are going to place the equivalent resistance of 8 ohms in between 1 and 4. Then this node 2 is going to be eliminated. That means when you are going to replace two resistors which are connected in series, the common node is going to be eliminated. In this circuit here, we can easily observe that this RT and R2 are connected in between 1 and 4. We are going to say that those two resistors are connected in parallel. So in case of parallel, the equivalent resistance will be 1 by R equivalent is 1 by R2 plus 1 by RT. So finally the equivalent resistance is obtained as 4 ohms. Now you can remove these two resistors between 1 and 4 and replace a single resistance of 4 ohms. If you observe here clearly, the node B and node 4, the terminal B and node 4, in between these two nodes there is no resistor connected, resistor or any element connected. In such cases, we are going to say that these two nodes are same. B and 4 are nothing but the equivalent nodes, because there is no such element connected between B and 4. So the total how many nodes are there? A, 1 and B. So 4 is nothing but B. Now A, this resistance R1 is connected between A and 1, and R equivalent 4 is connected between 1 and B. So here the node 1 is common, and these two resistors are connected from A to 1 and 1 to B. That means they are connected in between A and B with first node as the common node. Then we are going to say that those two resistors are connected in series. In case of series, the equivalent resistance is nothing but RAB here, because we are calculating the resistance between A and B. That resistance between A and B, he has given it as R equivalent. That's why RAB is going nothing but R equivalent, which is nothing but the addition of these two resistance, R1 plus R equivalent, 6 plus 4, 10 ohms. So finally the equivalent resistance is 10 ohms. Now we can remove these two resistors. We can draw the equivalent circuit which contains only one resistor of value 10 ohms. So this is how we are going to calculate the equivalent resistance from the given resistor combinations, which are either in series or parallel. Okay. Now let us solve one problem on here. Here the circuit is given like this. So as I already told you that we have to calculate from opposite side of the terminals. So generally here we are asked to calculate the equivalent resistance between the terminals A and B. You have to calculate the equivalent resistance between the terminals A and B. Now apart from these terminals A and B, what are the other nodes present? This is the first node, second node, third node, and this is the fourth node actually, fourth node and fifth node. If you observe here, this node is nothing but the node B itself, because in between B and 4 there is no resistor connected, in between 4 and 5 also there is no resistor connected, and here also there is no resistance connected. So we can consider this node as B. Okay, we will consider this node as B and B and B, because there is no element connected. All these terminals are connected to B only. In between this there is no resistor connected. So all the nodes are nothing but a single node, which is nothing but B. Now if you see here from this side, this 1 kilo ohm is going to be connected between 2 to 3, and similarly this 1 kilo ohm is connected between 3 and B. So here the common node is 3, that means 2 to 3, 3 to B. So then we are going to say these two are in series. When these two are in series, you are going to add those two resistance value, which gives to 2 kilo ohms. Okay, since these are the starting problems, that's why I am going to indicate the nodes here. So when you are very much thorough and when you are very much confident about it, there is no need to indicate the nodes, and there is no need to indicate these steps also. So for practicing purpose only, I am going to indicating the nodes, because first of all you have to make sure that you are very much thorough about identifying the resistors that are in series and parallel. So for that purpose only I am giving the nodes here, and these also no need to write, but for better understanding I am representing here. When you are very much thorough about these problems, there is no need to write these things and indicate the nodes. Now remove these two resistors. Now we can remove the two resistors which are in series, and what is the equivalent resistance here? 2 kilo ohms. So the circuit becomes, so in between 2 and B we are having these two resistors. The two resistors can be replaced by an equivalent resistance of value 2 kilo ohms. Okay. Now the terminals remains. What are the terminals? A, B. This is node 1, node 2, and this is the common node B. So when you have removed two resistors that are connected in series, the node 3 is also going to be eliminated. In this circuit, if you observe here, these two resistors are connected between node 2 and node B. That means these two resistors are in parallel. We are going to say that these two resistors are connected in parallel. When two resistors are connected in parallel, what is the equivalent resistance? 1 by 2 kilo ohms plus 1 by 2 kilo ohms, which is nothing but 1 by 1 kilo ohm. That implies R equivalent is 1 kilo ohm. When you take the reciprocal, R equivalent is 1 kilo ohm. Okay, that means you can remove the two resistors that are in parallel, and you can replace this with a equivalent resistance of value 1 kilo ohm. So now this circuit can be replaced as single resistance of equivalent value 1 kilo ohm. Okay. Now the circuit is simplified further. So we are going to remove this two resistance of value 2 kilo ohm, and we replaced that with a single resistance of its equivalent value 1 kilo ohm, like this. Now in this circuit, the 1 kilo ohm is connected between 1 and 2, and this 2 kilo ohm is connected between 2 and B. That means these two resistors are connected in series. Now you can calculate the equivalent resistance like this. So R equivalent will be 1 kilo plus 1 kilo, which is nothing but 2 kilo ohms. Now remove these two resistors. And these two resistors are connected in series between 1 and B. So this is 1 and this is B. So in between this 1 and B we are going to place the equivalent value 2 kilo ohms. Okay. So we are going to remove these two resistors that are connected in series by its equivalent value 2 kilo ohms using a single resistor. In this circuit again, if you observe, the 2 kilo ohms and this 2 kilo ohms both are connected in between two nodes only. Those two nodes are nothing but 1 and B. That means these two are in parallel. Already we calculated that when two resistors are in parallel, 1 by plus 1 by 2k, the equivalent resistance will be 1 kilo ohm. R equivalent is 1 kilo ohm. So these two resistors, this 2 kilo ohm and 2 kilo ohm are connected in parallel. Parallel means 1 by R equivalent is 1 by 2k and 1 by 2k, which is nothing but 1 by 1 kilo. And if you take the reciprocal, R equivalent will be 1 kilo ohms. Now you can remove these two resistors and replace with a single resistor. So in between this 1 and B, we are going to replace the two resistors with a single resistance. And what is its equivalent value? 1 kilo ohm. So this is the reduced circuit or equivalent circuit. Now if you observe here, there are two resistors in the circuit, 1 kilo ohm and 1 kilo ohm. This first 1 kilo ohm resistor is connected between A and 1, and the second one is connected between 1 and B. Obviously these two are said to be connected in series. So we can remove these two resistors and we can place a single resistance value between A and B. This is the final equivalent resistance. Since these two are in series, 1 kilo ohm plus 1 kilo ohm is nothing but 2 kilo ohms. So final answer is 2 kilo ohms. That means we can remove all these resistors. Here we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. We can remove the 6 resistors from the circuit and we can place a single resistor of its equivalent value 2 kilo ohms. That means the total equivalent resistance of all these resistors is nothing but 2 kilo ohms. So whatever these resistors that will function in the circuit, the single resistor will do the same function also.